The tense. There are three kinds of tenses. In other words, an action or activity can take place either in the present time or in the time that has gone by, or in the time which will take place in the future. An action can be broadly placed under any of the three tenses: the present tense, the past tense, or the future tense. The tense of a verb shows the time of an action or event. Present tense, a verb denoting an action taking place in the present time, is said to be in the present tense. Example: he writes a book. The bird is singing. Past tense, a verb denoting an action that has taken place in the past, is said to be in the past tense. Example: the horse jumped over the wall. She was singing a song. Future tense, a verb denoting an action that may take place in the future, is said to be in the future tense. Examples: he will write a book. I shall be singing a song. Present tense. There are four forms of present tense. 1. Indefinite or simple tense. 2. Continuous tense. 3. Perfect tense. 4. Perfect continuous tense. Simple present tense. The simple present tense is used to express habitual action or general truths. Examples: she drinks coffee. The sun rises in the east. There are four types of simple present sentences. 1. Statement sentences. A subject followed by the first form of the verb forms it. Form: subject plus the first form of the verb plus the word. Examples: I read. We sing. She stands. They eat vegetables. Simple interrogative sentences. It is formed by do or does and first form of the verb. Form: do or does plus subject plus the first form of the verb plus. Examples: do I read? Do we sing? Does he or she stand? Do you play? Do you walk? Simple negative sentences. It is formed by do not or does not and the first form of the verb. Form is subject plus do not, does not, the first form of the verb plus the activity. Examples: I do not read. We do not sing. You do not play. She does not stand. They do not speak. Simple interrogative and negative sentences. These are formed by do not, does not, followed by subject and first form of the verb. Form is do or does plus not plus subject plus the first form of the verb. Examples: Don't I read? Don't we sing? Doesn't he stand? Don't you play? Don't they sit? Present continuous tense. Present continuous tense is used for an action or activity going on at the time of speaking. There are 4 types of sentences under this tense. 1. Statement sentences. 2. Interrogative sentences. 3. Negative sentences. 4. Interrogative negative sentences. 1. Statement sentences. It is formed by the subject followed by is, am, are and verb ing form. Form subject plus is, am, are plus verb ing form. Examples: I am reading. We are singing. He or she is standing. You are playing. They are sitting. Present continuous interrogative sentence. It is formed by is, am, are, followed by the subject and the verb using ing. Form is, am, are plus subject plus verb with ing plus the activity. Examples: Am I reading? Are we singing? Is he or she standing? Are you playing? Are they sitting? Present continuous negative sentence. It is formed by the subject followed by is not, am not, are not and the verb ing. Form subject plus is not, am not, are not plus verb using ing form. Examples: I am not reading. We are not singing. You are not playing. She is not standing. They are not sitting. present continuous interrogative and negative sentences. They are formed by is not, am not, are not, followed by subject and verb in the form ing. Form is, am, are, plus not, plus subject, plus verb ing. Examples: am not I reading? Aren't we singing? Isn't he or she standing? Aren't you playing? Aren't they sitting? Present perfect tense. Present perfect tense describes an action or activity completed in the immediate past. Examples: the principal has just gone out. I have finished my homework. There are 4 types of sentences under this tense. 1. Statement sentences. 2. Interrogative sentences. 3. Negative sentences. 4. Interrogative negative sentences. 1. Statement sentences. It is formed by the subject followed by has, have, and third form of the verb, past participle. Form: subject plus has, have, plus third form of the verb, past participle. I have read. We have sung. You have played. She has stood. They have sat. Present perfect interrogative sentence. It is formed by has, have, followed by the subject and third form of the verb, past participle. Form: has, have, plus subject plus third form of the verb, past participle. Examples: have I read? Have we sung? Have you played? Has she stood? Have they sat? Present perfect negative sentences. It is formed by the subject followed by has not, have not, and third form of the verb, past participle. Form: subject plus has not, have not, plus third form of verb, past participle. Examples: I have not read. We have not sung. You have not played. She has not stood. They have not sat. Present perfect interrogative and negative sentences. They are formed by has not, have not, followed by subject and third form of verb, past participle. Form: has, have, plus not, plus subject, plus third form of the verb, past participle, plus. Examples: haven't I read? Haven't we sung? Haven't you played? Hasn't she stood? Haven't they sat? Present perfect continuous tense. It is used for an action or activity that began at some time in the past and is still continuing. Examples: the child has been sleeping for 3 hours. The boys have been playing football since this morning. There are 4 types of present perfect continuous sentences. 1. Statement sentences. 2. Interrogative sentences. 3. Negative sentences. 4. Interrogative negative sentences. 1. Statement sentences. It is formed by the subject followed by has been, have been, and present participle. Form: subject plus has been, have been plus present participle. Examples: I have been reading. We have been singing. He or she has been standing. You have been playing. They have been sitting. Present perfect continuous interrogative sentence. It is formed by has, have, followed by the subject and been and present participle with ing. Form: has, have plus subject plus been plus present participle plus. Examples: have I been reading? Have we been singing? Have you been playing? Has he or she been standing? Have they been sitting? Present perfect continuous negative sentence. It is formed by the subject followed by has not, have not, been and present participle with ing. Form: subject plus has not, have not plus been plus present participle plus. Examples: I have not been reading. We have not been singing. You have not been playing. She has not been standing. They have not been sitting. Present perfect continuous interrogative and negative sentences. These are formed by has not, have not, followed by subject, been and present participle with ing. Form: has, have plus not plus subject plus been plus present participle plus. Examples: haven't I been reading? Haven't we been singing? Hasn't she been standing? Haven't you been playing? The punctuation. The punctuation marks are used to express appropriate meaning of the sentence. Examples: The sun rises in the east. Do you study regularly? Alec is a naughty boy. Kinds of punctuation. There are many kinds of punctuation marks generally used in written English. 1. Full stop. 2. Comma. 3. Question mark. 4. Colon. 5. Exclamation mark. Comma. Rule 1. A comma is used to give short pause between the two phrases or parts in completing the sentence. Paris, the capital of France, is a big city. Mike, brother of Mickey, is my nephew. Rule 2. A comma is used to join two or more words in the sentence, as Mike, Mary and Tom are best friends. Lion, elephant and tiger live in the forest. Rule 3. A comma is used to separate a noun from the remaining sentence, as Sam, get me the book from the locker. Rule 4. A comma is used to separate the date from the year, as Mahatma Gandhi was born on October 2nd, 1889. Rule 5. A comma is used to explain the noun in a sentence, as computer, the electronic machine, is used for storing data and information. New York, the state of America, is famous for historical monuments. Rule 6. A comma is used to separate some words such as sir, madam, yes, no, thank you, from the remaining part of the sentence, as yes, I have won the race. The adverb. The word which qualifies a verb is called an adverb. The birds are flying high. In the above example, high qualifies the verb fly. Andy finished his homework quickly. In the above example, quickly qualifies the verb finish. She walks very fast. In the above example, very fast qualifies the verb walk. Kinds of adverbs. 1. Adverbs of time. 2. Adverbs of frequency or number. 3. Adverbs of place. 4. Adverbs of manner. 5. Adverbs of degree. 6. Adverbs of affirmation and negation. 7. Adverbs of reason. Now we shall discuss these 4 kinds of adverbs. 1. Adverbs of time. 2. Adverbs of frequency. 3. Adverbs of place. 4. Adverbs of manner. 1. Adverbs of time. Adverbs of time denote the time of an action. It answers the question when. Example: Mac went to his uncle's house yesterday. The above sentence answers the question when did Mac go to his uncle's house? Therefore, yesterday is the adverb of time. Look at the following sentences. Venus reached late. I have already seen the Twin Towers. These 2 sentences also answer the question when. Here, late and already are the adverbs of time. Some other adverbs of time are now, ago, then, soon, today, etc. 2. Adverbs of frequency. Adverbs of frequency denote the number of times or how frequently an action takes place. It answers the question, how often? Example: David went for tuition thrice a week. The above sentence answers the question, how many times did David go for tuition? Therefore, thrice is the adverb of frequency or number. Look at the following sentences. 1. He never visited the church. 2. Sometimes our family visits our grandparents. These two sentences answer the question, how often? Here, never and sometimes are adverbs of frequency or number. Some other adverbs of frequency or number are twice, occasionally, thirdly, again, never, etc. Three. Adverbs of place. Adverbs of place denote the place of an action. It answers the question, where? Example: The girls are singing inside the house. The above sentence answers the question, where are the girls singing? Therefore, inside is the adverb of place. Look at the following sentences. Ram was sitting on the table. There is air everywhere. Some other adverbs of place are above, below, within, in, outside, etc. Four. Adverbs of manner. Adverbs of manner denote how and in what manner an action is performed. It answers the question how. Adding ly to the adjectives generally forms these. Example: The boys walked slowly. The above sentence answers the question, how did the boys walk? Therefore, slowly is the adverb of manner. Look at the following sentences. 1. The soldiers fought bravely. 2. He acted wisely. These two sentences also answer the question, how? Here, bravely and wisely are adverbs of manner. Some other adverbs of manner are happily, kindly, cleverly, soundly, quickly, etc. Letter writing. Letter writing is the most important form of composition. There are hundreds of examples when you have to resort to letter writing. Rules of letter writing. Given below are the different parts of a letter. 1. The heading. It consists of the writer's full address and the data. It is written at the top left corner. The letters may be classified under 3 heads. 1. Personal letter. 2. Business letters. 3. Social letters. 2. The salutation or greeting, i.e., my dear sister, respected father. Note that the first letter of the sister, father, etc. is written in a capital letter. The body. It usually includes an introduction which gives the reason for the letter, the main information, and a conclusion which contains a pilot wise. The subscription. It is written below the body of the letter. It is written on the right side. It must correspond to salutation such as A. To a friend, yours sincerely. B. To a relative, yours affectionately. C. In an official letter, yours faithfully, yours truly. D. To the principal or teacher, yours obediently. 5. The signature. It is written below the subscription. 5. The superscription. It is the address written on the envelope. The hospital. Mike lives in Paris. There are many big hospitals in Paris. His friend John lives in a village. There is no hospital in his village. John came to see his friend Mike in Paris. Mike accompanied John to see his ailing uncle in a hospital. John was anxious to see a big hospital, as he had not seen one so far. Both of them went around the hospital. Mike took John in the casualty ward. There were doctors and nurses attending the patients. Most of them were accident cases. The receptionist told them that the doctors in this ward attend to all emergency cases. After initial examination, the serious cases are referred to the specialists for indoor treatment. Other patients are discharged after being given first aid. Both the friends entered the main hall called the General OPD, which stands for Outpatient Department. In the OPD, patients are examined and the treatment is given without admitting them in the hospital. After examination, the doctors may refer serious cases for admission in the hospital for treatment. There was a long queue in the OPD for registration of the patients. There are OPDs for medical, dental, ENT, cardiac, and surgical treatments. There are specialist doctors in various disciplines. The patients are treated with the latest medical technologies and instruments. The sentence. A group of words that make complete sense or expresses a complete thought is called a sentence. Note: 1. Each sentence begins with a capital letter. 2. Each sentence ends with a full stop. Kinds of sentences. There are 4 kinds of sentences. One, declarative or assertive sentences. 2, interrogative sentences. 3, imperative sentences. 4, exclamatory sentences. Declarative or assertive sentences. A sentence that simply affirms or denies something. Interrogative sentence. A sentence that asks a question. Imperative sentence. A sentence that expresses a command, advice, or prohibition. Exclamatory sentence. A sentence that expresses strong feelings. Declarative or assertive sentences. A sentence that makes, describes things, or reports an event is called a declarative or assertive sentence. Look at the following sentences. Examples. I am going to school. We have a party in the evening. He is going to the market. Interrogative sentences. A sentence that asks a question is called an interrogative sentence. Look at the following sentences. Examples. What is your name? Where do you live? How many students have attended the class today? Who is knocking at the door? Have you seen the movie Matrix? Imperative sentences. A sentence that expresses a command or an entreaty is called an imperative sentence. Look at the following sentences. Examples. Shut the door. Open the door, please. Tom, hurry up. Give me a cup of coffee, please. Boys, stop talking. Exclamatory sentences. A sentence that expresses a sudden feeling of joy, sorrow, pity, contempt, admiration, surprise or danger, etc. is called exclamatory sentence. Look at the following sentences. Examples. What a shot! How lucky you are! What a beauty! Oh, it's too big! Look at the following examples. Honesty is the best policy. In the above sentence, a fact is told, so it is an assertive sentence. Hurrah! We have won the match! The above sentence expresses a feeling of joy. It's an exclamatory sentence. Paris is the capital of France. The above sentence states a fact, so it's an assertive sentence. The students went to New York on a trip. The above sentence describes an event. It's an assertive sentence. Please leave this place. The above sentence expresses an entreaty, appeal. It's an imperative sentence. David is studying in class 4. The above sentence describes a report and states a fact. It's an assertive sentence. The cow has 4 legs. The above sentence describes a thing. It's an assertive sentence. The sun rises in the east. The above sentence states a fact. It's a declarative sentence. Please bring me a glass of water. The above sentence expresses a request. It's an imperative sentence. Do not tease the animals. The above sentence expresses an order. It's an imperative sentence. always speak the truth. The above sentence expresses an advice. It's an imperative sentence. Alas! The young man died last night. The above sentence expresses a feeling of sorrow. It's an exclamatory sentence. How silly of them! The above sentence expresses a feeling of contempt. It's an exclamatory sentence. What a beautiful flower! The above sentence expresses the feeling of admiration. It's an exclamatory sentence. The subject-verb agreement. Students by now have learnt that a sentence makes complete sense when the words are put in a definite order. The words may be noun, pronoun, adjective, verb, adverb, interjection, and conjunction. In a sentence, there may be one or more dependent or connected clause. There must be an independent clause. While writing a sentence, you must ensure that the verb must agree with the sentence in number and person both. A singular subject must take a singular verb, and a plural subject must take a plural verb. Look at the following sentences. A dog is a faithful animal. A dog is the singular subject. It must take the singular verb is. I am reading a book. I is the singular subject. It must take the singular verb am. Her mother is a teacher. Her mother is the singular subject. It must take the singular verb is. He will buy a house. He is the singular subject. It must take the singular verb is. The cows are grazing in the fields. Cows is the plural subject. It must take the plural verb are. You do not have a pencil. You is the plural subject. It must take the plural verb do. Note, you always takes a plural verb. You are writing a letter to your father. You is always treated as a plural subject. It must take the plural verb are. My friends are sending money to me next week. My friends is the plural subject. It must take the plural verb are. Note: in all the sentences above, the subject is plural. So the verb used in the sentences is plural. Two or more singular nouns or pronouns joined by and take the plural verb, such as Mike, Rolly and George are brothers. Mike, Rolly, George and singular nouns are joined by and. The sentence must take the plural verb. Mickey and Jenny are playing together. Mickey and Jenny are singular nouns and are joined by and. The sentence must take a plural verb. The following pronouns take singular verbs. Either, neither, each, everybody, anybody, none, nobody, someone, no one, somebody, one. Look at the following sentences. Each of the boys was ready. None of those pens are mine.